Let's answer all the questions regarding taxation in Georgia today. So there is 6 taxes for limited liability company in Georgia. This is corporate income tax, often called as profit tax, then personal income tax, excise tax, income tax, value added tax, of course, and then property tax. Now let's get into the percentages. Corporate income tax 15%, personal income tax 20%, import tax depends on the product that we want to import, it's 0, 5, 12%. Excise taxes on selected products like in alcohol and some kind of products which you want to sell, and it all depends on the type of the goods. And then we go to property tax up to 1% and value added tax 18%. Okay, now don't freak out, calm down. You don't need to pay all these taxes right now, straight away, as a registered company. Lots of people think that they have to pay these taxes straight away, but obviously you don't need to pay these taxes if you don't have tax base. And what is tax basis? We should take into account what is tax basis for all these taxes. Obviously, let's start from corporate income tax, the same as profit tax. Tax base for this type of tax is distributed profit. So total 20% of corporate income tax is paid upon distribution. If you don't distribute this money and you say, okay, I have some revenue and I want to save it with my company for future reinvestment, in that case you don't have to pay corporate income tax. And about personal income tax, you have to pay this tax for your employees. If you don't have employees, you don't have to pay personal income tax. Let's move on and talk about excise and import tax. If you don't import products, if you are in a service, you don't pay import tax. Import tax is paid whenever you import some products, and as mentioned, there are different rates on both excise and import tax. Let's move to property tax. It's paid whenever you sell your tangible long-term assets. If you don't pay this, and if you don't pay it, of course. And about the value added tax, as most of my customers are service providers outside of Georgia, they have international customers. I have a good news for you. For the services delivered outside of Georgia, this activity is not taxed for value added tax. So pretty much for service type of business who have international customers not in Georgia, and when services are delivered outside of Georgia, and when you don't have Georgian employees, you pay only corporate income tax 15% plus 5%. And there is some taxation regimes where you are even corporate income tax free, and this is now virtual zone in Georgia, IT business, which is completely tax free in Georgia, and plus with double taxation treaties with some countries, you don't even pay 5% of dividend tax. So for IT business, you either pay only 5% of dividend tax or you don't pay at all. So that was about limited liability company taxation. Now let's move to individual entrepreneur and how is it taxed in Georgia. With individual entrepreneur, you can claim special taxation regimes, and this is small and micro business in Georgia. For micro business in Georgia, there is special requirement. With most recent regulation, 500,000 Georgian lari gross revenue per year, and you can hire employee with this type of legal entity, and your tax base is your gross revenue, and it is 1%. Only 1% of gross revenue you have to pay as a tax. And similarly as limited liability company, This type of entity has obligations on taxation reporting. It's simplified, but still you need to submit accounting declaration to the tax authority. So if you want to learn more, I have a case study on my blog, which is on my blog. This is my blog, and the link is down in the description to the relevant post where I have case study, and to see what's the difference between these companies. And there is an example of Jack, who is an English teacher, and he has hired a person, and he has some expenses like rental expenses and employee expenses and utilities. How much of net profit he gained with his LLC and with his individual entrepreneur. Go ahead and study this case if you want to have more understanding of the procedures. Obviously, if you're seeking for help with your accounting, we are here. Our accounting team is here in place. We are offering remote accounting services for startup companies. We are specialized on that, so feel free to contact us. We already do some accounting for some non-resident for some companies of foreigners. Company name for individual entrepreneur is same as your name. So for example, my company name would be my name, versus LLC, where you can pick new name for your company. Definitely think twice before you register which type of legal entity to register in Georgia, because it can have huge effect on your future activities and on your future net profit. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope I made it as simple as possible for you, and if you like this video, don't forget to support me with like and subscribe button and comment, of course. Thank you, bye for now, till my next vlog.